Break open this grey sphere and you'll reveal one of India's most popular salts. It's called black salt or kala namak. Centuries ago, it was used as medicine for digestion. Today, the salt is a staple in South Asian cuisine, known for its unique eggy and umami taste. Workers risk burning their skin on a nearly 1,000 degrees Celsius kiln and spend hours inhaling smoke to make it the traditional way. But the long and dangerous process has pushed people away from the craft. Chetak is one of the last factories making kala namak this way. But it's on the brink of shutting down. We went to Lucknow in India to see how this black salt is made and how, despite the challenges, this factory is still standing. Even though it's hard to make, kala namak is still massively popular in South Asian cuisine. And it's even finding a home in spice blends made in the United States. But as workers prepare to cook kala namak, they have to fire the kiln up to dangerously hot temperatures. The high heat damages the kiln over time, so they have to rebuild it every year. They fill the kiln with cow dung, which works as fuel for the fire. The Chetak black salt factory goes through 5,000 pieces of it every week. Workers pour in a layer of coal and use burning bicycle tires to set everything on fire. Sometimes they use diesel, but it's more expensive. On the other side of the factory, workers prepare the pots. Shiv Shankar Prajapati has been making them for the factory for the last 7 years. He learned the tricks of the trade from his father.
हमारा पुश्तैनी काम ये हमारे बाबा करते आए, फिर हम मान लो पिताजी करते आए, फिर हम लोग 6 हुए, तब से हम लोग कर रहे हैं इसे। और बाकी तो काला नमक मान लो करीब में समय नहीं होगा इसे बनते हुए, कम से कम 70-80 साल हो रहे हैं बनते हुए।
Shiv still uses his family's techniques to make the pots completely by hand. This potter's wheel relies on the momentum from spinning it.
जब देखेंगे उसे उस पर निगाह चलाएंगे सर घुमा करके गौर करेंगे उसी तभी हमारा निगाह जो गड्ढे पर जाएगी तो गड्ढे दिखाई नहीं देता ऐसे अगर देखेंगे तो नहीं दिखाई देगा आएगा वो चला जाएगा वो
Shiv says this step can only be done manually. He has to constantly change how fast he's spinning the clay to get the perfect shape.
जो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक चाक आते हैं उनसे नहीं हो पाता है ये
This wooden tool called a thappa helps smooth the pot surface. It takes him 18 minutes to turn this clump of clay into a perfectly round pot. Shiv can make 30 to 35 pots every day. Workers add another layer of clay to the inside and outside of the pot to fill in any cracks, and then leave it to dry for 4 hours. Each kiln can hold up to 32 pots. Workers have to make sure that each one is steady and heated from all sides. So they add pieces of coal and cow dung to fill in any gaps. The temperature can reach up to nearly 1,000 degrees Celsius, and smoke from the burning coals and cow dung consumes the air as they burn.
के समय ये है गर्मियों में नहीं लगती है पसीना सीना नहीं बहता है और गर्मियों में तो यहाँ पे रुका नहीं जाता है तब भी हम लोग ये काम करते हैं मतलब लाल पड़ गई थी उसके बाद में फिर दोबारा जब करने लगो तो वो काम बच जाता है
When the pots are hot enough, workers add 3 kilograms of raw sambar salt. It is found at Sambar Lake, India's largest inland salt lake, over 670 kilometers away from Lucknow. This mixture of finely ground plants and fruits is the key ingredient in kala namak. It gives the salt its signature black color and distinctive flavor. Workers have to be careful as they pour 1 kilogram of it into each pot.
ये गीला नमक डालने से जो अंदर नमक जैसे पानी हो जाता है गल के, तो वो बाहर को उफान मारता है, तो वो बाहर भगता है, तब आदमी को मान लो गिरने व गलने का डर रहता है इससे।
के अंदर तो मालूम चल जाता है हमको। तो जैसे ये जो ढक्कन है बंद कर दे जाएंगे। उसके बाद ये बिल है, ये इसी से हम लोग देख लेते हैं कि भी माल पक गया है, कभी कच्चा है, कब डालना है, कब निकालना है, सब मालूम चल जाता है।
After 2 hours, the salt and powder melt together. Workers use an iron rod to check the salt from a distance to avoid getting burned. But it's not always foolproof.
कई बार जल गए हैं और छाले आले पड़ जाते हैं, क्या किया जाए, काम करना ही है, जब कर रहे हैं वही काम तो करना होगा।
Some employees who live at the factory have to deal with the heat all day long.
सारे लोग भाई लोग हमारे हैं यहाँ पे, तो यहाँ पे अच्छा लग रहा है तो आराम से पड़े रहते, खाते हैं, बनाते अपने हाथ, आराम से खा पी कर लेट जाते हैं।
They work through the night, tending to the fire and adding more salt and powder until the pots are filled.
क्या करें, गाना आना सुनने टाइम कट जाता है, रात में उठना पड़ता है ना।
Cooking one batch of kala namak takes 24 hours. At around 3 o'clock in the morning, the fire dies out under the pots.
1 घंटे तक मतलब अभी ये जो जिसमें ये डाली गई है बुरादा, वो अभी लंगड़ा नरम है। ठंड हो जाने के कारण पे निकाले जाएंगे, फिर फोड़े जाएंगे।
One pot can weigh up to 35 kilograms. Breaking the pots is the only way to get to the finished kala namak. After letting them cool for an hour, workers use hammers to shatter them, revealing the finished salt inside. At this point, the kala namak is still extremely hot. So workers cover the balls with raw sambar salt to cool them down. They break the kala namak into smaller pieces.
अब ये इनसे फूल करके भाई देखो अंगूरी काम की नहीं है, देखो सब दस्ताना पहने हैं।
Some of it is sold in large chunks. The rest is ground into a fine powder. Although kala namak appears black when removed from the pot, the salt crystals look white after grinding.
पीसने पे टेस्ट कोई चेंज नहीं होगा, वो खड़ा है, ये पाउडर है, इसमें टेस्ट में कोई अंतर नहीं आता।
Chetak makes around 250 packets of kala namak a day.
तो वो लोग बेचारे जाते हैं लेके घर में टेस्ट करते हैं, उससे हमको ये लगता है हम कुछ अपने क्षेत्र में इस हिसाब से काम हो रहा है।
Ramchandra Gupta has been running the factory for the past 10 years.
और ये पहचान भी मेरी हो रही, भाई काला नमक वाले हैं।
But now he's on the brink of closing it down. Labor shortages and erratic weather have been threatening the business lately. Ram says fewer people want to do this difficult work.
अब हमारे बच्चे नहीं ये काम को पसंद है कि न उनका इधर कोई इंटरेस्ट है न कुछ है।
Even some of his employees aren't interested in passing the traditional craft down to the next generation.
हम तो चाहते हैं कि बच्चे ये काम ना करें, दूसरा काम करें, क्योंकि बहुत मेहनती काम है, कमर तोड़ू काम है, इसमें सबसे ज़्यादा दिक्कत कमर पे आती है, इसलिए सोचते हैं बच्चे ना करें, हमारे तक ही रहे बस।
Demand for kala namak has increased in recent years. Its unique taste has made it a popular ingredient for chefs both in India and abroad. In 2023, India was the largest exporter of black salt in the world. To meet this increased demand, black salt producers have shifted from using traditional practices to machines. But this has left factories like Chetak struggling to keep up.
तो 2 भट्टियों की है, कानपुर में एक फैक्ट्री में 20-20, 30-30 भट्टियाँ जलती हैं।
The factory's location in Lucknow has also made it more expensive to get the raw materials like sambar salt.
अब नमक का भाड़ा है, जो राजस्थान से कानपुर आ जाएगा वो लखनऊ नहीं आ पाएगा।
Ram's team can make kala namak this way year-round. But another, more recent challenge to this tradition is unpredictable weather. He has to watch out for heavy rains, which have been hitting the area even during dry season.
जैसे बारिश होने लगी तो काम बंद हो गया, बारिश निकल गई तो अपना चालू कर दिया.
Rain can also make the already dangerous salt-making process even more risky.
नमक निकलेगा तो गोला भी होता है तो पूरा नमक बाहर ही आ जाता है एकदम भड़ाक से. ये चीज़.
Despite the challenges, Chetak is still the only factory producing kala namak for customers in Lucknow. The salt is a key ingredient in Indian street foods like chaat and salads.
काले नमक का इस्तेमाल सर इसलिए कहते हैं कि सबसे शुद्ध नमक वही काला नमक ही कहा जाता है. उसमें ज़्यादा खटास भी नहीं होती है और स्वाद भी आता है पूरा.
In recent decades, the salt has found a home outside of South Asia. Barkha Kardos is a culinary entrepreneur living in New Jersey. She's been eating kala namak since she was a little girl in India.
As a child, you didn't pick up on what it specifically was. You just knew there was, a different kind of salt in your drink or your food, or, you topped your yogurt with it.
Today, she brings classic Indian flavors to the American market with her spice blends. She works with a spice company, Burlap and Barrel, to source the kala namak she uses from India.
Bringing it to other markets out of India. Not only are we increasing awareness of our beautiful cuisine, but we're also bringing awareness to our farmers, how they work.
The salt is a key ingredient in one of her most popular blends, chaat masala.
So I'm going to add tamarind, ginger, kala namak, chili powder, a little bit of the asafoetida or hing, not a lot, but just a little bit. And then this is all the other spices that we had put in. And this is how I like to taste it. Stick a little bit of it. I love it. It's good. It's sharp. It's spicy. It's tangy.
Over the years, Barkha says she's seen the salt become more widely used in America, especially in vegan cuisine, thanks to its eggy taste.
Just finishing it with a little bit of that black salt, you realize you get a little bit of that flavor, which reminds you of that egg, that you've given up. There are so many amazing chefs, not just Indian, but American chefs that are using it and are talking about it. I'm just so proud and happy that we're opening it up to the world. Something that we all took for granted growing up in India or using it even today, and to then see friends of yours or people you know asking you about it and wanting to learn more about it and use it, it's perfect.
Today, Chetak sells its kala namak to merchants who export it to countries like the US and the UK. While Ram doesn't know what the future holds for his factory, he's proud of the work he's done to keep traditional kala namak alive.
जीना है तो कुछ ना कुछ तो करना ही है, मगर ये काम अलग करके मुझे बहुत आनंद मिलता है. जब तक मुझसे चलाया जा रहा तब तक चला रहे हैं. अब उसके बाद बच्चों की राय है कि अब वो चला पाते हैं कि नहीं चला पाते.